Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Josh. Josh was interested in the new Abzan commanders from the pre-constructed deck, Corrupting Influence. He asked that I make as strong a deck as possible with the win con focused around poison counters. Before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Vishgraz the Doomhive is a 5-mana 3/3 legendary Phyrexian insect with Menace and Toxic 1. Additionally, when Vishgraz enters the battlefield, we create 3 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might creature tokens with Toxic 1, and this creature can't block. Finally, Vishgraz gets +1/+1 for each poison counter our opponents have. The difference between Toxic and Infect is that Toxic has a number following it, and whenever a creature with Toxic deals combat damage to a player, that player gets that many poison counters. So in Vishgraz's case, our opponents only get 1 poison counter. Infect, on the other hand, is a bit more complicated. Creatures with Infect deal damage to other creatures in the form of -1/-1 counters, and all damage they deal to players is instead poison counters. Overall, Infect can be a lot stronger, but I prefer Toxic instead. It's much more friendly to new players. Now, Josh asked for this deck to be as close to CEDH as possible, but after doing some research and some experimentation, I realized that there is no way to do a CEDH poison deck. Putting 30 poison counters on all of our opponents is possible, but extremely slow. CEDH relies on speed, consistency, and a ton of interaction. So much, in fact, that the deck I wound up with was basically an Abzan food chain deck with an obscene amount of stacks. I'll post a link down below, but neither myself nor Josh were happy with the result. So I tried to build the strongest possible deck where the focus was on putting 10 poison counters on our opponents. Remember, Vishgraz makes tokens, so we'll want some token doublers. We'll also want some Proliferate effects. And even though we're not exactly a CEDH deck, we do have a very good mana base and lots of top tier interaction. But before we get to our deck list, we should keep in mind our checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Merrick's, Karn's Bastion, Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, City of Brass, Marsh Flats, Windswept Heath, Flooded Strand, Polluted Delta, Wooded Foothills, Indotha Triome, Scrubland, Bayou, Savannah, Godless Shrine, Overgrown Tomb, Temple Garden, Vault of Champions, Undergrowth Stadium, Bountiful Promenade, Shattered Sanctum, Deathcap Glade, Overgrown Farmland, Gaia's Cradle, 3 Plains, 3 Swamps, and 4 Forests. I did mention that this was a no-budget list, didn't I? Glistening Sphere as our on-theme ramp, Black Market Connections, Bootlegger's Stash, Monologue Tax, Smuggler's Share, and Smothering Tithe as treasure generators, Dark Ritual as our single ritual, along with Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Jeweled Lotus, and Arcane Signet as mana rocks. Rounding out our ramp is Farseek and 3 Visits. Gliss's Retriever, Esper Sentinel, Archivist of Ogma, Eladamri's Call, Vampiric Tutor, Demonic Tutor, Enlightened Tutor, Noxious Revival, Sylvan Library, Geth's Summons, and Infectious Inquiry make up our card advantage package. Anoint with Affliction, Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, Nature's Claim, Heroic Intervention, Veil of Summer, Teferi's Protection, Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy, Grafdigger's Cage, and Vraska's Fall make up our interaction and spot removal package. Black Sun Zenith and the Meat Hook Massacre make up our board wipes, both of which we can cast for low mana and then proliferate as needed. Contaminant Grafter, Bloated Contaminator, Yawgmoth Thrawn Physician, Vraska Betrayal's Sting, Sword of Truth and Justice, Staff of Completion, Unnatural Restoration, Throne of Geth, Plane-Wide Celebration, Norn's Choirmaster, and Evolution Sage all ensure we can proliferate frequently. Anointed Procession, Parallel Lives, and Mondrak Glory Dominus all work great with our commander, allowing us to create double the number of tokens. Doubling Season does the same, but it also works well with our poison counter strategy, along with Vorinclex Monstrous Raider. Norn's Decree for more poison shenanigans, Wormquake to help close out games faster, White Sun's Twilight, Skrelv's Hive, Might Overseer, and Infested Fleshcutter for additional mites, as well as Phyrexian Swarmlord for more token generation. Finally, Necrogen Rot Priest, Venerated Rot Priest, and Skrelv's Defector Might round out the core of our deck. Now that we have our deck list, we should compare it to our checklist. 49 mana sources split between 36 lands and 13 pieces of ramp. A little light, but we should be fine. 11 pieces of card advantage, 11 pieces of interaction, 2 board wipes, 1 piece of graveyard hate, 1 sudden I win card in the Meat Hook Massacre. Seriously, if we have enough tokens on board, we could win the game with a single Meat Hook Massacre. But we want to win via poison. We have a lot of token creators as well as a lot of token doublers. And all the token creatures we have are capable of putting poison counters on our opponents. We're not playing this as a combo deck, but rather as a mid-range deck. We're looking to outvalue our opponents with tons of mana, tons of tokens, and the threat of only needing to put 10 counters on them instead of 40 damage. I'm very happy with how this deck turned out, and so is Josh. With all the toxic and new proliferate effects in Phyrexia all will be one, are you building a poison deck? Who's your commander? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, there's a link to her Fiverr page below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Phoenix of Ice, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Brian, Josh, Sean, and Zach. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.